Well, hello there, motherfuckers. Let's talk a little bit about Ronda Rousey. Let's talk about how they're already killing any sort of momentum with Ronda. Let's talk about how I think what I started saying in my SmackDown review, and I said I'd give you guys a little rant on this. Ronda's going to be very hard to deal with. Uh, and let's kind of get a little bit of history on here. Around the times of 2014, 2015, Ronda was at the top of her game. She was beating lots of women in the UFC. She was, heralded as one of the toughest women in the world, one of the toughest female athletes. And, a lot of us, including myself, had to step back and be like, wow, it was a cool moment when she appeared with The Rock. She put Stephanie McMahon in the armbar. It was pretty cool, or Hammerlock, whatever it was, and we were excited. At that moment, there were rumors that the next year WrestleMania would be The Rock teaming up with Ronda Rousey against Triple H and Stephanie. It never happened. They slept on that one. The thing is, at the end of the day, with McMahon's big money, if he wanted it to happen, he could damn well have it happen. And that would have drew big time money. Didn't happen. He just kind of let that one coast on by and like, there it goes. There goes another opportunity, another missed opportunity in the land of WWE. And, we see that time and time again, missed opportunities all over the place. And so, the time went on, and then we saw bigger, stronger women come in, and Ronda Rousey got crushed twice. She took the losses bad because, of course, fans are, they're going to be assholes. They're going to, but Ronda talked a big game, and that was the thing about her. She was super cocky. She thought she knew it all. She thought she was the best in the world. And so when she got her block knocked off twice in a row, the fans kind of let her hear it. Then she starts coming up with crazy shit in interviews talking about, she shows up on Ellen DeGeneres. She's booked for Ellen. So, she's going to get a lot of national exposure here. The people who are not familiar with UFC, the housewives of the world. And so she comes up with this whole sob story that she was thinking about killing herself, following those series of losses in the UFC. So she's basking in the glow, millions of dollars. She could have went to WWE and make millions of dollars more. She's basking in the glow of sponsorships and TV appearances. She's on fucking Ellen, for God's sakes, talking about this. And she's venting. She's I forgot if she was like in tears or whatever. I'm going off memory here, but she at least had a solemn voice on talking about suicide. So all of a sudden, she became a proponent for suicide. I was bullied, and yeah. So the girl that basically bullies people, part of her UFC thing going on, she beats people up for a living. She's now talking about, now how she's a delicate little flower. Uh, and so the thing is, Dana White didn't want to have anything to do with her. She was a prima donna. She was, a flash in the pan. She turned out to just be some overly sensitive, woman that just didn't really have a place in the MMA world. So that's why she's in WWE right now, guys, because WWE is your super politically correct place. I mean, look what happened. They fired Enzo Amore due to allegations. The guy is scared. They can't even understand the fact that the guy is scared and he doesn't want to talk about an investigation. The fact that WWE would be so oblivious to said investigation speaks volumes about them. So, she's in the right place at the right time here. The super squeaky clean WWE that doesn't want to take chances and, is trying to Triple H stopping Shawn Michaels at Raw 20. Oh, don't say the bad things you used to do when you were in DX. Yeah, okay. So so we're in the super squeaky clean WWE right now. We're not allowed to talk about our past exploits and the past TV 14 material. And we've been going back and forth. Never mind the fact that the Vince McMahon is copying JR's Bell's palsy, doing the oh my god thing. Super classy right there. Of course, because we're anti-bullying. Be a star, people. So there you go. You had Ronda Rousey there on Ellen talking about, it's wrong to bully people and everything, even though she was in the UFC and bullying people and saying that she was better than everybody. So, it's nice to have a good, consistent timeline, folks, right? Just so we wade through the bullshit here. So, Ronda Rousey is a pretty lousy person. Basically, what she did was she lost. She started to become irrelevant because, you're only as good as your last fight. Forget who it was who basically said that. But it was, you're only as good as your last fight. So she started to wane in popularity, and her personality started to annoy people. So she started losing that luster of being super tough. And no, she didn't, Dana White didn't even want to book her anymore. So then she was like, there was a cry for attention, basically. Oh, look at me, guys. Now I'm going to conveniently try to kill myself now because no one wants to book me on UFC or pay attention to me. So, now I'm going to go the other way. I'm just going to act like I'm super sensitive and I was bullied in the MMA world. Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. Little snowflake right there. You beat people up for a living and you can't handle some people making fun of you on the internet. I mean, come on, you've got millions of dollars. And if you're that down on yourself after that, then, I mean, it's quite obvious something's wrong with her. Okay, so anyway, so I guess that kind of feeds into the thing of why she came out at the Royal Rumble. She's smiling and stuff. She's trying to be tough and be the nice girl that we saw on Ellen's show. Hey, I'm tough, but I also can smile. Hey, whoa, hey. I mean, it's. I don't know why she wouldn't come out to some like metal riff, basically, or or like some gangster rap theme and just like fucking plow down to the ring and start beating the shit out of like Asuka and stuff. And how awesome would it have been if you had Rousey, say Asuka kicked out Bella, at the end or something like that. And there could have been. Well, I guess you could have did it that way, but imagine if they waited till like number 30, and at number, say, just as about she's about to enter, she kicked out Nikki Bella, right? Asuka kicked out Nikki Bella, and then you have Ronda come out, and she just comes in there and just like fucking throws her ass right out. That would have gotten her big time heat because it would have been the same thing if Roman Reigns threw out Nakamura at the end. It would have been the same exact thing. Everybody wanted Asuka to win. They wanted those squeaky clean finishes with all their darlings winning, their internet darlings winning. Imagine if Rousey came out and just tossed her ass out. So a lot of these marks were also happy that Rousey, was coming to WWE, even though they don't know too much about her MMA career. They were happy to see her come. Which is funny because usually the marks are like always opposed to like celebrities coming, but I guess now that she's committed to wrestling, I guess that it's a different story. So, but then you had all these other goofballs talking about how she was stealing the moment. And for people that go check out Wrestling Jesus' video, I think he did a very good job at talking about this, and I concur. These people are sad and pathetic. Stealing Asuka's moment. That moment was already complete shit to begin with because no one cared. Asuka's not a draw. No one cared. If it went out with just Asuka celebrating, that would have been boring as shit. It still was a boring ending as well. But let's talk a little bit about this. So instead of it being any sort of heat, okay, so she's not in the Rumble. She's coming out at the end. She could have at least attacked Asuka, attacked Charlotte, attack Alexa, or attack Stephanie. Do something. Follow up on WrestleMania. Instead, it was a handshake with Stephanie and a pointing to the sign like 4 or 5 fucking times, pointing at the sign. To the point where it became ridiculous already. And so you look back on this and you're like, what the fuck was that all about? And now we just had Raw and SmackDown pass, and we haven't even seen Ronda. And all these big stories, CBS News, ESPN, they're all reporting on it. Oh, Ronda Rousey, Ronda Rousey. Okay, well, where is she? She wasn't on Raw. She wasn't on SmackDown. They're talking about her. No pre-recorded, no via satellite, no nothing. And so this is how you followed up an already underwhelming thing. And also let's talk about the Roddy Piper outfit. I understand she's a fan of Roddy Piper and they wanted to set her up in a way, but she is not Roddy Piper. How dare you have her come out there with his font? How dare you have him come out there in his exact leather jacket with those little diamond pads on it? I mean, she is not Roddy Piper. Until she proves herself, she shouldn't be allowed to use those graphics or his attire. For God's sakes, I mean, it's just they want to put all the stock into Ronda. I get it, but it's like if you wanted her to really take off in a big way, having her get physical when she is known for physicality. That is the way. And people could also argue the same point about Ken Shamrock. I look back on it on the network, and the way how Ken Shamrock came in, I mean, he didn't get physical because the thing was, I don't think that they were fully committed to him being full-time yet. I might be wrong about that, but, I'm not sure if Ken Shamrock was originally signed to be a full-time competitor. But if he was, it would have been more exciting to have Ken Shamrock come in right away and be physical. That wasn't really the case. But now with Rousey, it's pretty clear cut. She is there to definitely be. She's going to be a full-time employee. So what better way to have her just jump right in there and ask him? And the thing is, there's so many missed opportunities. It's like they don't know when the wrestler should get physical, when they shouldn't get physical. They don't know how to do anything the right way. This company is a mess. If you can't figure out that the right way to go is to have Ronda Rousey get physical, an MMA fighter on her first night there, and not only that, you're talking about how this is the biggest thing in the world, her being there. So why is she not there on Raw? You went off the air with this Royal Rumble. You made sure the men's Royal Rumble was in the middle of the show. You put your WWE Championship match at the beginning of the show. Could you imagine what the guys like Hulk Hogan think of these WWE Championship matches being at the beginning of the show to open up the show? You're opening the show with that prestigious title that's been worn by all these legends, and you're saying that this is a curtain jerker. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So the point is, okay, you want to put and I said the Women's Rumble was my favorite part of the show. I said it was better than expected. I admitted it. Like I said, I always do that in my reviews. I always do that in my videos. Even when I am wrong, I always admit it. And I said that in my review. Go check it if you need the proof. I said that was my favorite part of the show. I loved the Rumble. I liked all the returns. I was excited for it. I was into it. I really was. And the thing is, you're putting all that stock into it. And the big attraction that ended the show, it should lead into Raw the very next night. And it just wasn't there. Instead, you're kicking it off with a random last man standing match. It's like, okay, well, the whole world is talking about Ronda Rousey. So I'm tuning into Raw to see if she's there. And she's not. It's just some lame, expected, predictable video package of, oh, look what CBS said about us. Okay, well, if it's such a big story, why is she not there the following night? I don't know, guys. Anyway, like I'm saying, she's going to be very hard to deal with. We're talking about a girl that, lied and said she was contemplating suicide because it was a cry for attention, because the limelight was fading. Oh, it's fading away. Yes, it was, because you weren't as good as you claimed to be. And I'm not saying Ronda Rousey's a lousy fighter. It's just we've seen now that there's better fighters out there. It was just, because it was still new. They started off the women's division for the UFC, so Ronda was the first of her kind. You could even say that she deserves a bit of recognition for kind of paving the way and sort. And I'm not by any means trying to discredit her completely, but she did a lot to discredit herself. And so, if she redeems herself in WWE, that remains to be seen. I'm just saying, just get ready for a wild roller coaster ride, because this girl is an emotional wreck. This girl's got some big time problems, and it's not going to be as clear cut as her just coming in there. She's probably obviously going to think she's better than everybody else, just as she thought she was in the UFC, and that's going to cause a lot of locker room heat. And you know, I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm just saying, I don't think this is going to go very well. Okay? Anyway, guys, this has been your YWC champ, and I'm signing out.